You might think change begins with clarity. Know your values, define your goals, commit to what matters. This is a good start. However, the brain doesn't care about any of that. It cares about physiological efficiency and cues. Until you engineer the right cues, your highest values remain background noise while your conditioning runs the show. We've already established that your brain runs on two systems, that system 1 is the default, and that system 2 only activates when an alarm forces it awake. What that three-part series did not cover in detail is the practical question that follows. How do you deliberately build the alarm? Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. We could say system 2 is lazy, but it's more accurate to say the brain strives to preserve glucose. It's more efficient to run the body on conditioned protocols. So, at every opportunity, system 1 is predominant. It's an energy-saving feature that allowed our ancestors to navigate familiar terrain without exhausting themselves on every decision. But it creates a specific vulnerability. When an established System 1 protocol is running smoothly, nothing triggers System 2 to intervene. You can hold genuine values and important goals, but still drift along on autopilot. The good intentions are real. The autopilot simply does not consult them. This is why knowing what matters to you is insufficient. System 1 does not respond to abstractions. It responds to cues. A value like, I want to be present with my family, is an abstraction. A cue is the phone buzzing in your pocket while your child is talking. System 1 reaches for the phone. System 2, if it's dormant, never enters the room. The gap between your highest values and your daily behavior is not a gap in sincerity. It's a gap in engineering. You need something that wakes the pilot. The brain's built-in alarm is the anterior cingulate cortex. It fires when System 1 encounters a prediction error, a mismatch between what conditioning expects and what circumstances deliver. You go to your car to drive somewhere, but it has a flat tire. The mismatch triggers a surge of noradrenaline. System 2 wakes up. The problem is that the alarm only fires on concrete mismatches. It does not fire on abstract misalignment. System 1 will run a protocol indefinitely without triggering the anterior cingulate cortex, as long as the protocol produces no immediate negative consequence and encounters no physical obstacle. The behavior can be entirely at odds with your values, and the alarm stays silent. This means waiting for System 2 to spontaneously notice the gap and intervene is a losing strategy. It will not notice. The mismatch between your values and your behavior is invisible to the anterior cingulate cortex. It doesn't matter enough. You must make it matter. You can install your own tripwires. You cannot override the anterior cingulate cortex, but you can plan and condition new triggers into System 1. The alert becomes automated. System 1 itself monitors the tripwire. When the wire is tripped, the alarm fires, and System 2 is forced awake. There are two types of engineered tripwire. First, implementation intentions. Developed by psychologist Peter Gallwitzer, these follow an if-then or when-then format. For example, if I reach for the fridge out of boredom, then I drink a glass of water. The physical act of touching the fridge door becomes the cue. The decision was already made in advance by the conscious mind. It will take repetition and practice, but over time, System 1 will execute the new protocol naturally. Second, environmental forcing functions. With this, you modify the physical environment so that System 1 cannot run its conditioned protocol without hitting a mismatch. For example, the alarm clock put across the room on the dresser. When System 1 reaches to hit snooze on autopilot and realizes it's not within easy reach, the physical mismatch triggers the anterior cingulate cortex. System 2 wakes up and registers the intention that was set the night before to stand up within 10 seconds of hearing the alarm. Your highest values are abstractions, things like integrity, patience, health, courage. System 1 does not process abstractions. It processes cues. Tripwires are how you convert values into cues. Every engineered tripwire is a bridge between what you believe and what you actually do. The implementation intention converts the value of health into a specific fridge door trigger. The forcing function converts the value of integrity into a physical mismatch of where you put the alarm clock. The alternative is waiting for System 2 to spontaneously notice that your behavior has drifted from your values. Spontaneous noticing is not a good strategy. It ignores how the brain actually functions. Your defaults determine your destiny. System 1 will run whatever protocol you've conditioned, whether it serves you or not. Tripwires give you leverage over that autopilot. They turn values into triggers, triggers into action, and action into identity. Don't wait for alignment. Engineer it. When you're ready to turn consistency from an idea into a lived experience, start day 1 inside the ACT Score Challenge. That's it for today. Catch you next time.